So here we are, first track day on the 2015 Yamaha Tracer, or MT09 Tracer, down at Mondello Park, just a little bit outside of Dublin. Here we are lining up for one of our groups. Actually, notable mention to Eric O'Byrne. He's the cameraman who you'll see in a moment. Much appreciated. Marshall down there, who also showed me a couple of lines around the place. So we're down at Mondello Park, a little bit outside of Dublin in Southern Ireland. Got really lucky with the track there this week. The clouds opened in the skies and we eventually got some sunshine and it warmed up a little bit as well. So much more confidence. I actually skipped out on the last track day I was thinking of doing because we had a bit of an overcast day forecast, and might have been a good decision because apparently it rained and stopped and rained and stopped all day long. But not today. It's been sunny all day long. The Tracer, I picked up this bike, it's probably kicking around now about 6 weeks or thereabouts. First day out on track, probably the first day I've really had a chance to try and stretch its legs a little bit. I was thinking back to the last time I was actually on a track day, and I thought it was last year, but in fact it's not. It's been almost 2 years since I was last on a track day, so we'll try to get to a few more of them now as time goes on, but it's just, when do you find the time in your calendar, I suppose? So certainly not a regular to track days. Would have been done quite a few of them in the past on a supermoto bike, but never actually done too many of them on a road bike, just a couple of them here and there. Tracer for me, a much more comfortable bike to push along on than a sports bike. I like that upright seating position. I like the big wide bars. I'm an off-roader really at heart, and this kind of seating position to me is a lot more comfortable. I feel like I can do something about it if the bike moves around, whereas with a pure sports bike I sometimes feel a little bit limited upon what I can do. What was the Tracer like on track? I like it. It's got traction control and ABS. So one of the things I was doing here today was doing a couple of laps or a session with the traction on and then with it off. The ABS, as far as I know, you can't amend it. It's on and it's on always. But the traction control you can go on and off. Surprisingly, I actually found it more enjoyable with the traction control on. On the road, when the traction control is on, I found it quite abrupt because it's normally when the wheels spin and it goes over a bit of gravel and it really shuts off the power. But on the track it's much more subtle because you've got grip and it's kicking in only when it needs to. You can actually see it on the dashboard flickering away when you're accelerating in some of the harder spots where you're accelerating out of the likes of this corner, when you get the bike upright and you start to really get that throttle open here. That starts flickering on the dashboard quite a lot. A lot of confidence, even if it's not helping a huge amount. It's really a mental help with the confidence, seeing it coming on and off. Other than that, the Tracer on track, if I was going to do more of these, and I might, by the way, I believe it's worth investing in a slipper clutch. A good few of these corners, because of the slipper clutch characteristic or lack of, I'm riding around some of these corners in third gear and not really that high in the revs. Had there been a slipper clutch on the bike, I probably would have just clicked the bike into second and allowed it to scream or be in the sweet spot of the power a little bit more. But what I found that was happening was, as you were going to second, excuse me, you'd want to be doing it upright because you're really getting some chatter out of the bike. You'll notice it on the Tracer with its ABS if you're getting chatter. If you're somebody who uses a small bit of back brake, you'll actually feel the rear brake lever kind of pulsing as that back wheel chatters, when it's all the electrics are there trying to do their best to stop that rear wheel skidding. So anyway, as I mentioned, if you were going to do more track days, the 700 or 800 quid that a slipper clutch will cost you, it's probably worth it. I just can't decide on whether this one will get it or not. For the kind of riding I do on road, it's pretty rare that I'm ever going to have a rear wheel chattering around. If you're interested in doing a track day, I said this was the first one I've been to in 2 years in Mondello. Years and years back I used to do some supermoto, so I have a little bit of experience being on a track, but even still, coming back, I went straight out in the novice group for the morning session. Very controlled. The organisation that run this really have a kind of strict set of rules and guidelines for the riders, and they want everyone to be comfortable on track. Couldn't recommend it highly enough. I did find after doing the first novice session I wanted to get out of it, and one of the marshals, the guy who's actually cameraman right now, Eric, said, come on, it's time to move up. certainly was a good move. The novice session, if you are getting to move on a little bit more, there's a lot of slower riders on the track. The chance of you running into the back of one of them, it's obviously a lot higher. So out in these groups here, I'm probably riding in the intermediate group here. A couple of track bikes in it. The kind of pace we're doing here, I wouldn't be anywhere near the top of the group. It's certainly not near the slower of the group, but it leaves you comfortably sitting around that maybe in each session, 1 or 2 or 3 bikes might go past you. And for the most part, they're all experienced track guys, so they're all picking their way past you nice and cleanly. You'll see somewhere in this video a couple of bikes picking their way past us here as well, and you'll see there's a lot of space and a lot of security about it. This video, for whatever reason, we're recording this on a GoPro, and I noticed there's a lot of static coming through, and apologies about that. I wasn't able to try and sort it out with the video editing. Limited skills that I've got, but anyway, there you go. What else to know about this? If you're interested in doing a track day, the morning, I believe he charges about 65 euros. I was going to do the morning and the evening, but after the sessions I was actually exhausted. I hadn't ridden a bike hard in so long. I've not been motocrossing recently, and I was really starting to feel fatigue setting in. So I packed my bags at lunchtime and I headed off home to edit up this video instead, because I started to realize that if I was going to keep going at the rate I was going, who knows where it would have ended. So packed up when I felt I was ahead and got out of here. As far as getting the bike prepped for going out on the track day, I just rode down with my luggage. I left the box and everything on it. It was kind of better to have a few tools and a bit of chain lube and a bit of engine oil and a bit of coolant just in case with me. And prepping the bike, you'd probably want to pull your mirrors off. I don't believe they make you, but no harm. You know, they're 100 and so euros a go, so if the bike was to fall over, a little bit less damage. And I think the mirrors are also quite distracting. The fact that they're there and you can see bikes coming upon you is a bit distracting. Optionally as well, I bought some black insulating tape. I just put a little bit of tape over the lights and the indicators. They recommend it. Again, I'm not sure they enforce it, but they do recommend it. And tire pressures as well. The high pressures that you're running on the road aren't really necessary here, so I dropped this down to, I think I ran a 30 up front and eventually settled on a cold pressure of 27 or 28 on the rear. Played with the pressures a little bit during the day. I brought a pressure gauge with me just so that I had a chance to do that. Anyway guys, thanks for checking out the video. If you like these, subscribe to us on YouTube. You'll see the videos reappearing in your feed. Or if you're a Facebook kind of person, head over there and like the page. We'll always post up activity that we're doing, whether it be on the website or on the YouTube or wherever. We always post it up to the Facebook page. Thanks, and talk to you soon.